Shleypinkerton. On Wednesday, November 9th, I was involved in the police attack on peaceful student protesters on the UC-Berkeley campus. The police used their batons to jab and beat us while our arms were locked, having no defense. In the main clip that has gone viral, I was struck in the stomach 2 times before a third blow to my lower rib cage knocked the wind from me. And at this point, I felt like I was going to faint or fall down. I turned around to lean on the person behind me, and that's how I wasn't trampled by people. The emotional trauma of that day is more persistent than the physical damage, even though I did have to miss a day of work due to abdominal soreness. I remember screaming at the first sight of people getting clubbed. I remember reaching out to people getting clubbed and getting struck for doing that. I just remember hearing my voice screaming and crying and pleading with the officers not to hit us. But I saw worse injuries than mine afterwards. I saw people with bloodied arms and hands, baseball-sized lumps that are lacerated on their faces. I saw people being arrested with knees going to the back of their head, just excessive, brutal force happening. But I participated that day in support of the greater Occupy movement. I've also been active in the Occupy Oakland movement, which has also been met with a lot of police brutality. Also, I was and am still infuriated by the proposed fee hikes, which would make it impossible for students like me who have transferred from a city college, take out student loans, and still work a part-time job to attend this public university. In light of the police violence that took place that day, it has become clear that certain UC administrators do not share these concerns, nor do they care about our physical safety. It is for all the above reasons that I am participating in this class action suit against them and UCPD. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Francisco Alvarado. I'm a first-year graduate student at the School of Social Welfare. I chose Berkeley for its history of activism and free speech. But when you have an administration that mocks this with police brutality, the administration needs to change. And I stand alongside my fellow students to ensure that this administration changes so that future generations don't ever have to suffer the brutality that we all suffered. And I encourage you all to come out tomorrow and ensure that this movement goes on. Because freedom of speech started here and should continue here. Thank you.
Aye.
My name is Mica Stumpf. On Wednesday, November 9th, I was beaten by those who claim to serve and protect me in the middle of the afternoon on the iconic ground of the birthplace of the free speech movement, while I was standing up for public education with my fellow students. All of my life, I have lived in poverty. I work 30 hours a week as a caregiver for a 91-year-old World War II survivor in order to afford to attend this university. I am a straight-A student, but on Wednesday, I was treated worse than people treat dogs. I am a senior at UC-Berkeley. I will not feel this next wave of budget cuts. I am fighting for the rights of children I have never met. I do not intend to have children of my own. I am in this fight for the children of the police officers who beat me on Wednesday and for their children's children, because I believe that education should be accessible to all. One of the greatest injustices of this defunding of education is that these cuts will be felt most by the next generation of students. While I was not intending on being on the front lines this past Wednesday, once I ended up there, I made a conscious decision to stay. I did so because I have been studying nonviolence for the past 7 months, and I felt my presence could help to keep that spirit alive during any potential confrontation. And the confrontation that followed my decision was like nothing I have ever seen. I was beaten by completely unprovoked police officers while my fingers were making peace signs. I saw the people on either side of me take hit after hit and never strike back. Never at any point did I see one of my fellow students engage in violence. In the face of excessive brutality and dehumanization, we were able to remain dignified and nonviolent. For that, I am immensely proud to be associated with these students. Our fight is not about an issue of resources, because the money is there. This is a matter of priorities. We have to decide, as a public, as a society, what our priorities are. Is it our priority to make sure that every child in America has access to a decent education? Or is it our priority that Bank of America continues to pay $0 in taxes during the next fiscal year? My fellow students and I have decided what our priorities are, and we hope you will stand with us in this fight to refund public education. Thank you.